hello, this is the final boss, and this is first attempt at soldering. And I've watched a few soldering videos, so on YouTube, so I'm obviously an expert now. All I know is I should try to put my little careful glasses on so I don't get a bunch of hot metal in my eyes, and then I'm gonna put my gloves on because I'm using lead solder because it's easier for beginners. So I'll put some little glovies on so I don't get lead poisoning, which, you know, I don't think is going to happen. You have to probably solder a crap ton, but, you know, still would rather not get lead poisoning. So if it's flashing, it's heating up. Alright, so my soldering iron's heating up. I have my little component sheet here of all the things I need to do. This is making a little, like, hourglass. And I'm excited. I got all my gear. I'm ready to become a hero. Yeah, I mean, if there's some, like, finger stretches I should be doing, like, I don't know if you're being facetious and just trolling me or, being serious, but, I probably do need to do, like, finger stretches. Alright, so I got some ventilation here. Got my parts laid out. First part is already in place. You only have the white gloves. Shame. I brought a bunch of purple and black gloves that look important, I know, but these were on sale. These were on sale, so... Alright, looks like we're at our temp. So we'll try to get the first little solder done here. So from my knowledge, you kind of try to warm up the area. I probably can put some more on there. Hey, that looks good. Hey, I'll take that any day of the week. Alright, probably put a little bit more just so we're not hurting for stuff. Got my little cleaner thing. Alright, hey, you know what? I'll take that. Stretches. Ooh, I will actually save that link because it seems quite helpful. These aren't the best cutters, are they? Ugh. There it goes. It's not the best. Probably need to get some actually good cutters here, but it is what it is. Alright. I can clean that up later, I suppose. Alright, so there's our first component on. Nice little resistor. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, obviously it's hard for me to see. I can try to turn the magnifying glass up so you guys can see what I'm trying to look at here too. But yeah, like those look like kind of nice little dots. Everything seems happy. Lesson 1, check cutters before you start working. Yeah, that is probably a good first lesson. Turns out, I'm going to put a little junk cup here. For all the scraps and stuff. Yeah, that is a valuable lesson 1. Alright, so now I got to put in a ton of resistors. And so I'm just going to look at the schematics here. It's pretty much any of these resistor, these 3.3 ohm resistors, and pretty much anywhere where there's a 3.3 thing, they go in. So I'm actually going to do one of the things the a YouTube thing said is just putting them all in first. So these are all my resistors. Putting them all in first, and then, and then soldering them all in, and so that's, hopefully this is a 2.2, I don't know where, I don't think I'm supposed to put one in there, am I? What? That don't seem right. No? I guess I am. Maybe it's just got a high tolerance. I don't know. It does not tell me to put it does not have a 2.2 resistor. These are the only ones I got. So I'm just going to use that. I'm going to follow the schematic and not the PCB because that's what one of the other YouTube people said is just, you know what? Like the PCB is not the king, you know? Wow, that's kind of hard to center, isn't it? So I got my little needle nose pliers to give these a nice little adjustment as needed. Yeah, well, luckily these needle noses have a excellent. Alright, so that one's in for the most part. And now to do a whole bunch more. So anytime there's a 3-3 resistor, guess what goes in there? I might actually try. Have this thing holding it up for me. I actually don't think I need my gloves for this portion since I'm not messing with lead, so I might take them off for ease of installation. Yeah, it's going to be just too hard with gloves on to do all these little pieces, but I'll get them all in, and then I'll put the gloves back on and start soldering. But yeah, pretty easy. Actually surprised at how seamless that is. You know, you always expect it to be so tricky, and it's just like, oh no. Watch a few YouTube videos, and it seems to be quite approachable. Could be wrong though. You know me, I'm generally first to celebrate a victory before it's actually happened. Okay. I'll just grab this side here. Excellent. I should get some better lighting, huh? It's a little easier to see. I know, if my camera's focus is having issues, just let me know. You can always recenter it. So, just go one at a time. I might do like these in batches because there are a literal crap ton of them. And I mean, this board is built for soldering practice. Like, right there, like this is a soldering practice project. Like, this thing will make you just solder a crap ton of stuff, and it's kind of just a fun little gadget. So it is definitely seeming to accomplish that goal. Yeah, I do have some bigger, stronger cutters, but I don't know if I want to use them on such fragile little. Alright. Alright, get another one. This is very soothing. This reminds me, you know, this goes to show how much of us, you know, how consistent my hobbies are. This reminds me a lot of macrame. I don't know if you guys have ever. I think I did a macrame stream once, but I love doing macrame. It's a lot of fun, but this has a lot of this. It seems to scratch a lot of the same itches in terms of some pretty precision-y work. Alright, that's the right side, right? Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna flip this baby over, and we're gonna get back to soldering it here because, yeah. Because, I don't really. I want to make sure I'm on the right track before I go too much farther down this road. So now that I've kind of got these resistors here, their little legs are sticking out. So now it should be pretty easy to start soldering them in place. Okay. Alright. Let's do this guy first here. Should probably not be so close and inhaling all the flux fumes. Alright. You know, that's pretty good, you know. I'm not gonna win any major awards, but I'll take it, you know. Yeah. Alright. Doing that. Okay. Do have to kind of be pretty precise on this guy here. someone on YouTube would critique me because that one has a little bit of a bubble. But it is what it is. I'm going to cut all these little strands off so I can actually see what I'm working with for these other ones. I'll try these needle noses if this is a little bit better, but oh god. I think this little short cutter is going to be the best, but boy is it dull. Boy oh boy. That's a little better. Where did my trash cut go? This one? Yeah. I mean, this is fun, honestly. I'm surprised at how kind of soothing it is. You know, it's kind of like this very zen type. I do need to get some good cutters, though. This is pretty painful. Alright, Mr. Circuit Board. And then we gotta thread some more of these stinkers in, you know? Those are too close to each other and a little too long, so I bet they might short out if I don't cut them a tad shorter. Wow, these are not good cutters, I'll tell you. Thought I had better ones. I should go back and look around a second and see. Yeah, lesson one is really check your cutters before you start working. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go check my cutters. I'm gonna try to complete lesson one here. I think I have some more cutters. We'll find out. I have some really strong cutters, but they're a little too large for this particular job. Alright, where are some other cutters I got? I know I got them somewhere in my shelf o' stuff. Oh, hi, sweetie. The brains of the operation just came home, and, you know, she's obviously like, you know, Jeff, you should have gotten some better cutters as well. Just kidding, she didn't say that, but she probably thought it. Well, I have another thing that could cut. It is not an actual wire cutter, which is really annoying. These ones are so crappy. That's what happens when you get stuff on Amazon. It's just garbage. Well, I'll be darned. Might be in trouble here. Well, I got one more kind of potential cutting instrument here. It's a little shorter, but I don't think it's gonna work. It's more of a needle nose setup. Darn. Unprepared. I know. Shame on me. Well, you know what? I can finish this soldering, but I probably will not be able to turn this on tonight. Because it'll short. But that is what it is. I mean, I do have sharpening equipment, so I could use that. If I was feeling real brave. Let me see if this thing can get in there. Well, that's what you learn. That's why you do the projects. You learn what you need. Yeah, I think these cutters are the ones I can get close enough to using. But they are just so janky. So crappy. Yeah, they're like some random Amazon off-brand. Well, you get what you pay for, and they were cheap. Don't blame Amazon for you picking the cheapest option. That's a fair point. Yeah. I think I am the guilty party here. Let's be honest. But yeah, here we go. This is our little our little resistors so far. I don't know if that's in focus. It's kind of close. But yeah, they're looking nice and happy. Looks like they have a new home. They found their new home. They're happy. They're building a community of resistance. It's a very, very socially conscious community. Alright. I don't need my gloves for this, which should be nice because that's pretty neat. Only one of them looks crooked in that 4-row. No, it's okay. It's okay if they're crooked. They just can't be loose. I actually don't mind crooked. I mean, I'm going to be doing, look at all those little bars. All those little rectangles you see is going to be a resistor. And you can see this long string of them I have to set up today. So, I am, whoopsie, I don't want to lose them. I am prepared for some jank. But my next project, which I'm pretty excited about, is going to be an analog synth, which I'm really stoked for. And they have these cool little kits for like 20 bucks, 30 bucks, though I probably will be going to Home Depot and getting a better wire cutter. I will be going to Home Depot and getting a superior wire cutter. Alright, whatever. It's in sort of focus. It's in medium focus. Yeah, it says that's... I mean... I'm gonna check the plans again, but it says it wants me to put it there. I don't think that's the right size. I mean, the PCB board is telling me something different than the instructions, but everything on YouTube tells me just to follow the instructions and keep my mouth shut, so screw what the PCB says. I do it my way. Yeah, and I can tilt these little stinkers outwards. Come here, you. Yeah, there we go. Good enough for government work. So pretty. It is like doing jewelry. You know, like the proxies between this and jewelry are very, very similar. Like it's very, very persnickety, very precise, but fun. And you get something that's both aesthetically pleasing and also functional. Which, you know what? I'll take that. And I'm going to stretch the cables out preliminarily. But I mean, the purpose of this particular kit is to just help you practice soldering. So you know what? With putting in like a zillion resistors, it's definitely going to do that. Because I'm already growing more powerful. I will be the Lord of Solder. Lord Solder. Is that cool? Do I sound cool, guys? I think I sound cool. Yeah, this Ryobi soldering iron's a freaking beast. I had just a lot of those Ryobi batteries and stuff, so then Ryobi came out with a soldering iron, and it just plugged straight in, and a heat gun. It's pretty wild, all the stuff they build off that battery pack set. Alright. Alright. Scoop. Scoop. I'll get this whole side done, and then I'll go and do that side, and then I'll be done with resistors, which will be great. Because they are a little, you know, essentially, which is interesting that these plans tell you that, essentially what I've kind of discerned is that when you're doing a job like this, starting with the smallest components first, you know, is much easier, right? Because when something's a little fiddly, little tiny thing, I mean, this is just from YouTube things that I've listened to. One of them's cooking that 4-row, yeah. Doing such a fiddly tiny thing. Come here, you stinker. You know, it's really hard if there's big components you kind of have to dodge. So I actually appreciate that this plan is representing that ethos quite well. And it's going fast, you know, like these are, we got one more resistor to put in there, and that 33, and that's the 1 milliohm. Yeah, I'm just learning all this stuff, you know, it's just fun. Doing some like silly things, trying it out. It's such a source of joy for me. Just like trying something new is so good for the soul. And if you're a writer, even if you're not going to become a professional solderer, though, you know, I'm well on my way. Even if you're not going to become a professional solderer, you know, I might put some of these ones in while it's facing up. I am finding that, you know, batches seem to be quite effective, where it's like, oh, I get a bunch of these little components threaded, and then I flip this thing over, you know, and then I can, like, you know, solder them all in place in kind of one fell swoop, which saves a little headache and time. Though there are a lot of components. Where are you? Who are you? You're this guy, huh? You're floppy. Straighten out. You straighten out. Alright. Okay. These silly resistors. Why resist? Alright. My wife is going to come out and be like, what's wrong with you? And she's probably asking some very valid questions, and my return response will be, you know, you said yes. So, you know, you knew I was weird from the first day we met. This is a fun little kit, though. It's pretty cool. I will say it's pretty intensely satisfying when you kind of get it going, you know. When it starts to fit together. Though I will have to probably go by Home Depot tomorrow and get some superior wire cutters, which I can do. Alright. One more and then I'll flip this over and then we'll do a bunch of solderers. Put my gloves back on so I don't get lead poisoning. It'll be great. You know, maybe that's why my wife is so tolerant of my weird project. She's like, you know, there is the chance that he gets lead poisoning. No, I'm kidding. She's very, very kind. She's not so she's not a meanie. She's a pretty nice gal. She actually just is one of the nicest human beings I've ever met. Alright, gloves back on. One of them look crooked in that fall row. Glove 1. Glove 2. It's just so funny. She's like, what new weird stuff is happening in that garage, you know? That's the question that she has to face down, you know, in this relationship. Poor gal. Alright, so I got a lot of solder. And do you want a plan or life insurance? Yeah. Yeah, that's true, that's true. These are heating up pretty well. Okay. Oopsie. That's pretty fun. But look at those nice little beads of solder. Should I zoom in even further on this camera? Maybe. Is it even worth it? Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. Y'all can see a little better there. So apparently what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to heat up the surrounding area, not the soldering wire itself, And when the component area gets hot enough, lo and behold, it just melts. Definitely for car insurance. It's not a fixed amount per se. I would recommend you change policies after 2 years. Why? Because I remember you do some insurance work, if I'm not mistaken, right? You kind of know your stuff there. So maybe I should actually be kind of getting your insight. Those look pretty good, you know. I think I gotta clip the little tails, but I don't think that's a factor of my lack of skill, though it very well could be. Let's get some of the solder off this thing. Which I do admit to having a lack of skill in this. I mean, this is my second time soldering something. So you know what? If I didn't have a little bit of an absence of skill, be concerning. It's getting pretty hot. I probably don't need it this hot. We'll see if it starts cooling down significantly, but this thing is roasting. Usually I kind of would expect it to take a second or two to heat up the components. Oh, no, that one's new. Okay. Now for all these little silly gooses over here on this other side that are at these wild angles. Okay. Yeah, well, I probably, if you have any like recommendations I should take for like my insurance, let me know. I think changing policies every 2 years is a good insight. It does seem like a lot of work. I feel like, you know, a lot of these companies capitalize off one's laziness, right? Is like if, you know, going and changing policies every couple of years is like work, you know? You gotta like call the people and deal with support, and they are aware of that. That most people do not want to talk to support. Or like the save desk, you know. Get you nice and warm, buddy. There we go. There we go. Nice and happy little connectors there. Now time to cool them down. Is good. They are leaning on a lot of things. Yeah, I need to get a better clipper here. This is not the right tool for the job by any stretch of the imagination. Try to do like a mow move here, just to get this crud out of the way. I'll get the more I'll get the little bits tomorrow. Trim this up nicer tomorrow. Just get these cords out of the way. You know, I like to think those aren't terrible solders, but what do I know? Make sure you establish a budget limit right off. Okay. Budget limit. Alright. I will remember that. Establish a budget limit immediately. Good data. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you know, you guys are experts. Yeah, and, you know, my wife will probably be, depending on how much wilder my random hobbies get, you know, she'll probably be looking for life insurance to make sure that, you know, if I kick the bucket through my own bad judgment, you know. Which is very high likely of that. Oh man, these things are cruddy. I guess I should have known. Can I really be surprised? So sadly, won't be able to power this on today. But uh-oh, one of them is still loose. Heavens to Betsy, I forgot to solder it. Well, I'm glad I'm not cutting these too short. Heavens to Betsy. Alright, well that's easily fixed. I was like, why is that wiggling around? That's not supposed to wiggle around. Alright, buddy. Let's get nice and warm. Maybe it is cooled down too much. I gotta get this back up to 750. Okay. Let that heat up a little bit. It's looking good though. Oh wow, you guys can't even see it. Look at that mess of a... What a bad streamer I am. Getting things out of focus. Shame on me. Why is it so slow to heat up? Oh, it's heating? Interesting. Is it running out of Bryobi batteries? Might be it. Says it's heating up. Get my rework station up here. Come on, buddy. Get warm. Alright, there we go. Something's melting at least now. Come on. Come on, stinker. Get warm. Wow, that's weird. I don't know why it's taking so long to heat up there. It does look good. I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah, I do need to learn more about, life insurance and things like that. I just play with my toys in my garage and life passes me on by. Alright, it says it's heating up. Heating up. Come on, stinker. And why is it taking so long? Really does not want that to warm. Alright, I get it. You know, I think it might be low on batteries. I have a feeling with this type of consumption. No, it's full. Alright. Then why are you telling me? Yeah, heat up, sir. Come on. Alright, that's more like it. I didn't even have to pay attention to it myself. Military gives you everything, so you don't have to think too much. Hey, you know what? Thinking's overrated. Let somebody else do it for you. Ain't that the truth? I'm glad it's not overheating, but why the heck did it get so cold all of a sudden? Well, we'll see. Should have gotten a real rework station, but I thought Ryobi would do a good job. But guess I was wrong. There we go. That's what I like to see. Stuff melting, yeah. Alright, that's a little better, isn't it? Alright. Much better. Okay. Now we can get all these things on. And look at how pretty. Nice little happy camper this is. Now we can put the rest of the resistors on. Though I really need to get a better pair of wire shears, because this is kind of ridiculous. Kinda ridiculous. Alright. It's like a jewel necklace. That's all looking pretty good. You can look it under the magnifying glass, make sure I'm on the right track here. Alright. Not terrible. That one's probably a little crappy. Most of them seem alright though. A few not so great ones like this guy here. Maybe I can heat her back up, you know? We'll see. Let that warm up. I'll get the resistors going here. Alright. Alright, Mr. Claw Grabber. Time to get this going here. Alright, we got eight or so more resistors to go, maybe 10. And then we're done. Then we can start doing different components. How thrilling. It's thrilling for me at least. I know you all are probably rolling your eyes. But this is a weekend high for the final boss. Alright, I'll get my gloves off for now. I think I'm mostly avoiding lead poisoning. Seem to be a good 90% of the way there. Alright. Let's get these stinkers put in place. Almost look factory made. Heck yeah. How encouraging. You know what? You get a job. I appreciate the encouragement. Goodness knows. Giving me the courage to make the microphone Friday. I have all this stuff coming in today. What? You're doing it for real? That's awesome. You got to watch some of those YouTube videos on soldering, though. And show me, post in the Discord how it goes, because that's one of the ones that I was wanting to do. That was kind of going to be my next project. I was like, oh man, like, I kind of wanted to warm up. I was maybe a pansy. I wanted to warm up with this stuff before I tried the microphone. But I was like, you know, if I can replicate something like that for a good, reasonable cost, like, heck yeah, I'm in. Yeah, that was a really cool little DIY project, I'll say. I'm warming up by watching you. That's great. That's great. Well, if you do it, I mean, if you feel brave enough, I would definitely watch if you stream it. Because, you know, that's one of my goal projects. Though, pretty darn cool what that guy was able to build. And I mean, that guy's channel is just amazing. Just the stuff that person puts together is pretty cool, pretty darn cool. Pretty darn cool. I'm gonna make it, I'll share it if I get it right. Heck yeah, please do. Well, yeah, no pressure, you know, because some of this stuff, I know for some people, streaming just incurs stress. Like, you know, it's not a, like for me, I'm very fortunate, it's pretty relaxing. I kind of like just shooting the bull and goofing around with something, but, you know, for other folks, you know, it is like, you know, hey, like, you know, they really feel the kind of pressure of whatever they're doing, kind of having an audience, however small or large. That's non-trivial for some folks, you know, so I get that. Sometimes it's good to just have hobbies that you do on your own. Nobody else knows, and you just kind of relax. Good for the soul. I'm missing one, or did they give me an extra one? Maybe they gave me a few extras? I don't know. Hopefully nothing interrupts my free time. I have to add more solar panels to my shed and set up a laptop to stream it. Nice. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's the one advantage of having a garage with quite a bit of power, is that I can quite readily you know, just bolt a camera to the wall and I'm 90% of the way there, you know? Yeah. So I have 2 extra resistors, which is a little concerning, but I'm assuming those are just extras. I'm very much hoping those are extras. I will do one scan over the plans here. Alright, let's take a look here. Solely making a workshop, that's awesome. Oh, there's one in the middle. Okay, that's good. I missed that. What? No, that's right, that's right. It's like inverted. So mine's upside down according to theirs. So, I need one in the middle. One's there, one's there. One's there, one's there, one's there, and then a bunch there. 6 and 5. Alright, so I'm just missing the one in the middle. Great, then I guess I have one extra, which feels appropriate. Alright, sir. Mr. Resistor. Alright, so it's time. Let's put the gloves on, flip this over, and start soldering. I might just get a new one for that second one. That does not look like it wants to return to a hand anytime soon. Alright. Alright. Time to do the flip. Ah, excellent. Alright. Got my solder. Got my flux. Well, this is pre-fluxed, I guess. So. You guys see that okay? I think so. You know what? I actually set up my camera appropriately today. Go me. You know, I'm just going to go down one side because it's a little easier than like shifting laterally. So I'm just going to go down one side. And then go down the next. That one didn't come out so good. That was inferior. Interesting. Okay. May as well get this middle one done. Alright. We're getting there. Yeah, but do-it-yourself might have been more than my schedule can handle. Yeah, that's the downside of having a life and doing do-it-yourself stuff is that sometimes, like if you're really gonna do it all yourself, it takes a while. It takes work and it takes time. Kind of effed that one up, didn't I? The thing that's really fascinating about this is that, to my knowledge, like the flux in the solder is creating an alloy. It's not just, you know, like that's what makes such a good electrical connection is the fact that it's, yeah. For a few of those, I'm gonna put a little flux on them. Yeah. So, good thing is, for those ones that are a little wonky, I have some flux that can help kind of neutralize them a little bit. So this kind of stuff, oh, this side looks a little better. So if I go like that, get some flux on there, those will hopefully solder a little cleaner. That one needs a lot. Okay, so we'll see how this goes, if my predictions are correct. So the ones that don't look so good, yeah, that makes a huge difference. Little flux. It's looking fresh. Alright. These ones in the middle are nice. Alright. I think that was the right decision. Those look a lot happier. That one looks a little on the dry side, so give it just a little bit more love. Alright. Great. Time to chop these. Give my circuit board a haircut. Don't worry, I'll be doing a better... I'll get some good trimmers tomorrow. Just need to get these big long tails out of the way. Slowly making it a workshop, yeah. One day at a time, you know. That's the thing, though, when you're DIYing the workshop, but you don't have your DIY center set up. That's a little tough. That's commendable that you're able to pull that off. Oh, come here, stinker. Fight me. We'll turn this around this way. Just give it another haircut from the side. And I will get a good one later, I promise. I will get a good clipper soon. Okay. Y'all ready for the reveal here? Flipping it over. Ooh, very fancy, very nice. That's not too bad. You know, ain't perfect, but ain't terrible. So these other components will be a little faster, so I'm going to actually leave my gloves on because I am lazy. So I think some of these will have things that I have to be polarity focused on. Okay. So this little stinker goes in here. C2-222. I don't think there is a polarity on this that I care about. But I will just look and try to see what they did on this picture just to be certain, but I cannot tell. Okay, well, in it goes, one way or the other. Alright. There's our little C222. I think it's a tiny little capacitor to my knowledge. And then we'll just zoop it in place and cut its tails. You know, I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to roll up some of my soldering wire because it's getting a little wild. Alright. That's a problem. I don't think that was getting hot enough there. Again, we'll put some flux on there because that was being a stinker and not getting in place. Alright. Help me, flux. Help me, flux. Help me, There we go. Alright, not my finest hour, but 'tis functional. Let that cool off. Give it a haircut. Alright. I really wish I could turn this thing on, but that just is not going to happen. even if I finish this thing all pretty soon. Alright. Those are okay. They are solid, so that works for me. Alright. Now we do the E-cap. Let's find the right one here. So that one's the stand up. So I think this one goes in here. The longer is the positive. C1, so we gotta make sure this is the right one. 22, 25 volts. That seems right. So capacitor. So I'm pretty sure it's like this. Positive here, negative there. But let me make sure. Or ground, I guess. Interesting. Okay, so that is correct. I will double triple check, but the longer lead is the positive, and that's the positive one for this. Alright. It doesn't want me to bend it, wants it to go straight down. The C122, yeah, that's right. Okay. I obey. Don't ask me to make a circuit board, but maybe I can put one together. We'll find out. Maybe not. Maybe? Maybe not. Yeah, so see that? That's a bridged connection, which I will not be able to turn this thing on. Because some of these gosh darn clippers are just so gosh darn crummy. Let me just see if I can at least get it out of the way. Alright, it's at least out of the way. This one probably also needs to move. This one probably also needs to move. Yeah. Look at how long, yeah, sorry, it's sliding out of focus. Look at how long those things are. Anyways. Positive is square, and it's the longer one. Negative is circle. Their ground is circle. It's the shorter one. I think we got it here. Alright, this thing should be heated up. Lord knows. Okay. Those are real close together. Alright, that was a good one. I feel like I ticked the boxes on that one. Good gracious to heavens, man. That's pretty cringe, but yeah. I'll get a better snipper for those little antennas. Yeah, all my antennas. Anyways. Alright, so then I do the directional switch, bend the switch 90 degrees, and install it in SW1. Okay. So that goes here. I think this is to tell Yeah, it has a little connector in there. I wish you guys could hear it. But this is, I think, to say, is it upright? Because this is a system that you turn upside down and it'll do something different. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, maybe which side do I do? So sorry. I'll zoom out a little bit since I'm tilting this thing sideways. And then I'm essentially going to put it in here, and I believe it's the long. I don't think it is. It should be installed in the rectangular PCB. So I guess this doesn't really matter in terms of its orientation for anode and cathode. Just needs to go in nicely and look good. All right, we'll solder it in. See what happens. Good gracious. We're just shooting first and asking questions tomorrow. Okay, let's take a look. I might leave this one on because those little connections aren't too long. Yeah, that's kind of how it'll detect its direction. That's pretty neat. That's neato plus mosquito. Okay, so that's done. Now we do one of the size kind of management things here. All right, little sir. And that's this guy. This goes into the back because this is the internal. So I actually need to turn this puppy over. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There it is. Thankfully, these boards are pretty clear about a lot of their stuff. So, should be soldered to the back of the circuit. Okay. Is that as far as it goes in? Am I tripping? Is that as far as it goes in? Hold the horses. Speed regularization. Is that as far as it goes in? No, can't be. That's pretty definitive, it feels like. Well, heaven knows, I don't know any better. We're just gonna try. 1, 2, 3. Try not to inhale too much flux, if at all possible. Very nice. Guess it just sits a little proud of the board. Oh, sorry, you guys missed my pretty solder. I was actually kind of happy with that one. You guys can look. I'll get the focus all polished. Oh, look at that. Look at those pretty, those 3 little dots. Those are some nice dots. Alright. Now the power switch, which again is going to be on the inverted side. And will probably also stand a little proud. So here is the power thing. It's directional, so I do got to double, triple check. I think it's this little stinker here. And then I do not know where the... It's on this. Pay attention to the direction of the switch. Heaven to Betsy, I don't know what direction the switch is. Power. Okay, so that's where the little gap is. And that needs to be facing that. Okay, so this little gap, heavens, that little gap goes like this. Alright, so this one's going to try to fall off on me, so this is going to be a little trickier of an operation. So this is one of the YouTube folks had this little tip where you get some solder on your iron. I might just have to do this. I might have to retool this here, but oh gosh. Come on, buddy. No, it's over me right now. Get some flux. Come here, flux. Alright, I'm gonna have to retool that one. Because I need a lot more flux, because I'm gonna try to like zoop this in. I think that was it right here, right? So, get some zoop on there. Okay. Now I gotta realign it. Come here, stinkers. So, power needs to go that way. Like that. Yes, like that. Like that. You know, I'm gonna actually set this down on my desk because I do have a big brain. And that'll be way easier, and I'll just focus into where you're at. Yeah. You know, I'm not all marshmallow brains, alright? Alright. Get both of those kind of sides in. Alright, that is a power switch. Hey. Feel okay about that. That seems to be oriented correctly. They are very, very attentive on that. It looks like it's oriented correctly. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. You know, I'll take that. Alright. I'll keep my extra flux over there. Okay, power's in. Pay attention to the installation direction again. Okay. Alright, so these are my big the brains of the operation here. So it's these like pin connectors. And And so I might be doing this on the table surface again. So I'll slide this back a little bit because it is quite helpful. So that is where the little nub is, and that is where the nub is. Let me make sure that's what I'm supposed to do. Yes. Towards that. Okay. That I can do, my friends. Uh-oh. My little legs got big. Where's my tweezers? Where's my tweezers? I don't know if y'all can see this alright, but I just stumbled upon a social media manager. Hey, there you go. Social media can be pretty powerful in the right hands. Alright, one in. Are they all the same? I probably should have checked that. That's U1. Okay, they are not all the same. Wow, I'm glad I checked that. 415 B, E. Well, I don't know. Let's see. We can do some process of elimination here. Doesn't really say, does it? I'll just have to kind of pick the odd man out, I guess. 415, 415. So those are the two 415s, whatever that means. Oh yeah, that's right. CD 415. Okay. And the 4, 6 one goes where? U2 and U3. And that one's the 6-9 one, and that needs to face that way, because that's where the thing is. So this is mostly correct. Alright, back to gently pushing pins and holes here. You know, that one's in the right place, so I'm going to solder the first one in. This is the 6-9 one, so that one needs to go later. So I'm just going to get this guy in now. Be a big brain boss, you know? Alright, I'll get some extra flux on there, because why not while we're just kind of anchoring it in place. Alright. I think I can just get away with putting this one in, and I'll put the opposite one in. Her portfolio. I'm still in uni. Don't have to do marketing on my own book. Hey, there you go. Yeah, a lot of talented folks coming out of school these days. Come on, get warm. I see. So it kind of like goes into like an auto sleep mode, and then it starts like interesting. So that one's good enough, but I will have to like move the rest of the board pretty quickly. Interesting. How am I doing on time? It's an hour so far. That's not too bad to get almost done. I mean, I have about like a few components left, and then a lot of LEDs to put in. Look at these guys. Well, we're getting there. How am I doing on time? It's not too late, is it? No, it's 11:40. That ain't no thing. I might be able to finish this. Who knows? Who knows? so I quickly did that to like hold it in place. Now I'm gonna get this one in place. I'm gonna make sure that one looks pretty good actually. We're getting there. It's pretty fun though. If this thing turns on, I'm gonna be so proud of myself. Though I will have to do a little bit of cleanup on the back of this gosh darn thing, because this poor stinker is, you know, it's not pretty. It ain't pretty. Yeah, I got a lot of little fun techie projects. You know, any excuse I can get to not write, you know what I mean? Building circuit boards? Oh, is that not writing? I'm in. Where do I sign? being facetious mostly. Alright, so that's oriented correctly. This needs to orient this way. Alright, come on, buddy. This is not for the fumble-fingered final bosses, I will say that. Okay, so that side can kind of fit. Well, this side kind of fit. Oh my gracious. These gloves are not helping. Oh, almost, you stinker. Oh, we did it. We done did it. Go me. Alright, that's facing the right direction. We are ready to install. So I'm going to do the same thing, which is give it a little extra flux, where I'm going to anchor it, which is in this pin. And then once it's anchored in place, then I can be a little bit more blasé about getting the rest of this thing put in place. Actually, that seems to be the best anchor, so I'm actually going to do the opposite. Alright. I will clean all this flux off with some isopropanol. Alright, we kind of got there most of the way. Alright, now it's anchored in. We kind of did our little shuffle. But now it's pretty anchored, so now I can just go through and put all the rest of the pins in. turning. So I feel like after you take the solder off, letting it sit for like a second in the heat seems to get a better final result. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm crazy, but you know what? That's what I'm trying. Alright. Do I have enough on that one? Yeah, that's alright. A smidge more on that one. And that one's already zooped. Alright. That is 2 in. Yeah, less than 2. Let the solder sit for a second or two after. Yeah, just with the iron on it, it seems to really help get it good. I mean, this is a sample size of 1, but, you know, we do what we can. Yeah, so that goes in okay. This side. Oh, I didn't crack that. It's going pretty good. My other little component was blocking me. So I definitely see why they say do the small components first, because these big mammoth jammas seem to kind of not mess around. Yeah, but if you found that stuff at a good price, let me know, because I was looking for some of the cheap microphone setup stuff from that video. Jeez, man, getting these little stinkers in and set is something. Where are my tweezers? There we go. Oops. Whew, we did it. I think that's oriented the right way. All the U's go in the same direction, yep. And that is 415, 415, and that's 469. Alright, alright. We done did it. We done did it. Alright, now time for that same deal where we get some flux in there first to just anchor it in place. I think this one looks like the easiest one to do. Come on, flux, get out there. And this Q-tip sucks. Alright, I'll use this side here. So minimal cotton. Alright, that should be a little easier to work with here. Alright. Okay. Okay, that one didn't need too much extra coaxing. See, man, there's so many extra little wires farting around because of this bad clipper. Oh my goodness. Come on, stinker. You know, I'll just move it out of the way, and then cover these stinkers. Don't bump into each other, y'all. Yeah, that'll be probably not the greatest, having to trim all that stuff back, but you know, it is what it is. Alright, now we can bring back my little grabber. Yeah, maybe I'll trim some of these big ones that are still floating around. Alright. Alright, I need to turn this thing. You're telling me you're a temp, but I don't believe you. You know, this is gonna sound funny, but this is a lot like making macaron, where you kind of have to, like, you know, when you're using the piping bag to make macaron, you kind of like take it off at the end. Definitely has some baking vibes here for sure. Well, it's good to know those skills transfer, you know? I think that looks good. I'll do it under the magnifying glass here just to be sure. I mean, seems good. This board is almost done. That's pretty cool. So, install the 8-pin connector. Refer to the picture below. Okay. Well, that's all. Is it this, like this? Really? No. Yeah. Eight pin 4, 8-pin 4. And then, so that's the input, and that one gets the output. Alright! Alright, you know. Far be it from me. Wait, what? Why is that the little tiny one? What about this thick one? So wait. This side gets the super thick ones. Is it like... Yeah. Alright, so hold on. Let me distribute my 8-pin connectors here. So I got these two. These... Oh, that's right. So these ones go on the top. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I'm old, but, you know, I catch up eventually. Okay. So this one needs to go here. And this one needs to go here. Alright. Hey, go me. I'll move this more central so you guys can actually see what I'm working on. And I will adjust the focus. Alright. Alright. I might do the same thing, add a little bit of extra flux on these corners just so that I can anchor these things in really nice. Because I have a feeling this is where straight stuff will like matter a little bit. That's not the greatest one. That's not the greatest solder I've ever made, but you know what? It'll do. Alright. Yeah, so I try to like really make sure that when I do the ends, I press them in place. I don't know if that's a dumb idea or not, but that's the one I'm doing. Again, I'm gonna have to move some of these little micro pins out of the way. Oopsie, burning a hole in the table. That's not good. Let's rub whatever the heck I just created off. Lesson 3, don't burn holes in tables. Very important. Lesson 3 is very important. Do not forget lesson 3, my friends. That was a little woof of a solder there, but that one was a little woofy. Alright, let's get some of this extra crudola off. Alright. That's coming together well. I mean, you know, I'm pleasantly surprised. I didn't think it was going to look this good after an hour. I'm really excited to actually get some shears and turn it on. But you know, it's not as difficult as I had anticipated. There are some little tricky bits, but a lot of it, like I would say that like this is much more akin to baking than I thought, right? Like where, you know, like a lot of the stuff you have to do is very baking-esque, where it's like just like little kind of minute things that help or hurt, you know. Okay, probably shouldn't. I mean, why am I wearing gloves? I'm just gonna scratch my nose anyways. All right. More flux, just to make sure I can get this nice and straight without having to make a bunch of adjustments and silliness. Alright, get yourself some flux, my friends. Alright, good enough. Ah, oh, dang it, see, that's what I was trying not to do. Darn. Darn. Oh, dang, I just soldered it shit. Oh, well, dash darn it. Okay. Heavens to Betsy. See, that's kind of the tricky bit, is those components that you can't like hook in, they give you a little extra trouble. I'll say that. Hello, friend. Okay. 90% of the way there. Alright, those are mostly square. Hey, you know what? That's better than I anticipated for kind of the first attempt of a board. All right. Time for mucho soldering-o. Let's get all these pins connected here. It takes a second for this thing to warm up sometimes. Yeah, usually you put it down, at least what I'm doing here is, you set it down for a count of 3. And then you put that in, leave it for a count of 1, and then you're done. 1, 2, 3. Flux, or solder, and then done. 1, 2, 3. 1, and done. Alright. I can just order my circuit boards from you. Yeah, well, unfortunately my hourly rate is pretty steep. That's the one funny thing about DIY stuff is that, like the cost savings of doing it yourself are like just non-existent. There's just no way this is more efficient than hiring someone. But I will say for like house stuff, it is more efficient sometimes because calling up the knucklehead repair person, having them, hum and haw and tell you what's right or what's wrong, and then, it still breaks the week after and you have to call them again and do it all from the start. I feel like that honestly takes more time than me just learning how to repair, my washing machine or something on my own. Alright, my camera might be out here. No, it's still going. Okay. So now we get to put all these LEDs in here, which is kind of the fun bit. This is going to be, I'll turn this down. Gonna let that rest. But this will matter in terms of polarity. These are all white LEDs, okay. Okay. And then we're done. Then I just put in the pins. Yes, I put the LEDs in first, I put in the pin connectors, I smoosh them together, and then I put the power cable in. And that's this. That's really easy. We're on the home stretch, folks. Alright, so the anode is always the long one, and the anode goes in the square, if I'm not mistaken. Anode is always the longer one. And the anode goes in the square, the rectangle pad of the PCB. We'll see how these all come together. Alright, that is the long one, which is the anode, and I'm going to put it into the square side. Yes. Alright. I probably should do better, like, wire management here, but... long one goes on the anode side. Yeah, it seems like it's good so far. Alright, 4 out of however many more. Here, you know what? I should really put this in the frame just so I can show off. You know, hey, look at that. You know, get this object out of here. Look at what I've created, you know? It's pretty fun, though. It's a fun little... I mean, this was like a project that is like literally built so you can practice and learn some of these principles, and so it's not too bad. Like, you know, honestly, after like 2 hours, this is probably gonna wrap up in about 30 minutes, I'd say. Maybe an hour at the longest. How am I doing on time? It's 12:09, so like at 1 a.m. I'll be done for sure. Maybe at 12:30. There's a lot of noise in the back here, though, which I don't love. Yeah. Yep, the anode goes in the rectangle. Yep. Install that on the rectangle pad. You got it. I mean, it's more of a square than a rectangle, but, you know, who's counting? It's looking nice. Alright, those are mostly staying in. We getting there, folks. Long goes in the rectangle. I mean, I'm tempted just to like put them all in and then just do one fell swoop of soldering, which I might do because I think I can get away with it. I think I can just get away with it. Yeah, I think I should be fine. It's like Legos for grown-ups. I mean, grown-ups can play with Legos because Legos are for all ages and all souls. But, you know, this is, I don't know, maybe more socially acceptable. I guess Legos are pretty socially acceptable now for grown-ups. Yeah, that, like, arrangement is working well. Just gotta get the system down. Square those there. Alright, this is gonna be so cool! I really do need to get those clippers, though. A good pair of little, like, snips. Hey, we're getting there. My hourglass is coming together. I don't really know all the mechanics, and like one day maybe I'll learn some of like the principles of like what's doing what and why. But you know, we're on phase 1 here. We're on baby steps, you know. It's too much fun just trying new things and learning new things. That's what I've learned in life, you know, is like there's so many cool little things in this world. You just gotta check them all out, you know. And eventually they do start coming together. Like I will say, random connection. This stuff is very, very similar to looking snazzy. Definitely the Star Wars edition. Yeah. Yeah, the Star Wars edition of Legos, for sure. But you know, this looks nice. You know, I'm excited. This is my achievement unlocked. You know, like, other people play games and have normal hobbies. I play some games, but I just can't get into them for too long. The only hobby that's been able to really keep me going long term is writing, because there's just always something new to learn. It's just a never-ending learning process is writing. But like, I feel like with some games, like once you kind of like know the mechanics and what you need to do to level up, it sort of loses its savor for me, at least. This is gonna be a lot of soldering. Almost done. Alrighty. That's pretty cool. Should just leave it like that. Though it would short out, for sure. Though it would die. There will be some aspects of this I will not be able to complete until tomorrow, and I have a better pair of snippers, though, sadly. But I will get 99% of it done tonight, and then just the final assembly will come in tomorrow. This is on the home stretch. Look at how pretty my little digital hourglass is. Kind of like this. I love hourglasses. It's one of my fascinations. As if I don't have enough things that I'm randomly a fan of. But I figured hourglass plus soldering? Come on. You can't go wrong there. Alright, here we go. Now guess what? We turn this puppy over. And we start cooking it. Okay. Come here, little roach clip. Whatever these are called. Alright. Okay. So that's together. Make sure that's nice and visible. Now we're ready to start heating up the iron again. Put on some gloves. I actually don't really need gloves, but it is what it is. You don't need gloves. You should just wash your hands after if you're using lead solder. But I'm lazy, so I'm just going to put on gloves again. It'll be wasteful. I'll be wasteful. I'll still wash my hands after, though. Come on, I'm not a barbarian. I'm not a toddler. Toddlers are barbarians, by the way. So take it from someone who has a toddler. They are as barbarian as you can be as a human. Okay, that's still flashing and heating up. I think this will be pretty fast. Just zoop, 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 and I'll try to like push these in so they're nice and flush when I'm zooping and zooping them. Yeah, so that's why I want this kind of clip up, so that otherwise they'll be kind of in a weird orientation. So I do want to make sure I zoop them appropriately. This is the user-facing part of it. Yeah. Just remember, if Final Boss can do it, y'all can do it. You guys are way... One thing I've learned over my time in Twitch is like y'all are... Everyone on Twitch is just so talented. The amount of stuff, you know, y'all can do, and you show me your like artwork and stuff like that. That's what just makes my day, honestly. Just to see projects y'all are getting excited about and developing. Yeah, that's fine. That's not the perfect solder, but it is a solder that will function more or less at this juncture. Not very much heat transfer going on there, is there? Oopsie daisy, that's bad. Oh, that was bad. What did I do? That's a weird one. Yeah, I can touch it up if it has issues, you know. Easy to fix. That's the one nice thing about what I'm learning about soldering, is it is quite forgiving, and like this type of stuff is very forgiving. If you're doing like rework station type work, that is harder. I did try. I started myself on that, and I was like, wow, this is very difficult. Yeah, that should be good. So those are all pretty lined up. Okay, yeah, that looks nice. Gotta get the user-facing side looking good, you know. That's doesn't matter how ugly the back is, as long as what people see looks nice. Everyone happy. Alright. These little scrubby cleanums. This is a very just nice, enjoyable little process. I will say that. The more I'm kind of doing this stuff, the more it's just like, oh, it's nice. You know, it's nothing too crazy. The kit answer, you know, just doing it off a kit answers a lot of the, you know, initial like, oh, I mean, I don't know how to design a circuit. Like, you know, like I'd be pretty clueless if they just gave me a bunch of components and told me to make something, but well, the kits are nice. So I put all these on. I left that on a little too long. That was my bad. Yeah, this is getting a little more weedy to get in, but there we go. Oh no. No! That one I'm kind of messing up here. Alright, that's straight now. Good gracious. I'll have to probably do a little bit of clean up on the back of this board tomorrow. There it goes. We're getting there. I'm sliding it out of view here. But we are getting there. I probably should trim some of these, but actually it's not. It's helping me hold on a little bit for these little. That didn't bridge, okay. I'm always like, oh no, did I bridge it? I mean, thankfully this is a pretty tame little project, so if I mess it up, it was all of $10 down the drain. Oh, gracious. Oh, I did that wrong. Phooey. Come here, stinker. There we go. That's straight. Whew. We're getting there. Phew! Oh, wow, I just broke that. Okay. Guess that is not a very strong wire. I think this is the next one I'm on. This one's kind of funky, isn't it? Not too bad. Definitely doesn't help that I'm quite a perfectionist. think my camera has died. Yes. I will restart it so you can see the final countdown here. Oh, woo! Getting there, getting there. We getting there. Woo! Home stretch, home stretch. All right. So that one's done. This one needs doing. Yeah, I thought that one was a little loose. Yeah, some of these are good, some of these are a little loose. A little adjustment. And we're good. So this one probably needs some adjustment. Whoa. Hello, LED. We'll put the extras here. Because there are a few extras that were kind enough to give some extras. It's very nice. Home stretch. Okay. Let's turn it over. Hey, that doesn't look too bad. My hourglass. Now it's time for a haircut. Though I probably should leave some of these on. I don't know. Just for... leave it for tomorrow to trim it up. We'll see. I have another LED. Hi, come back here. Where'd it go? Yeah, I don't think this is doing myself any favors by cutting them right now with this piece of crap. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is just a bad idea. I'll clip the ones I've already started clipping, but other than that... It's trying to bust through all this stuff. Yeah, I'll get some better snippers. I will just trim the ones on the edge so I can solder in the other stuff. And then we're done. should just throw this thing away. It's so annoying. Alright, well at least I can put on the tin connectors, and I'll hook it all up tomorrow. Alright. Here we are. The last few components. I'm pretty sure the long pins go out. Yeah, okay. I am correct. That's right, they go in on this side. I forgot. Alright, this is going to be the flux bit. Alright, we got some good flux. For a sec. You know, I'm gonna clip this again because it's just easier. Once I got it anchored, clips make life a whole lot better. Alright, nice. On the stretch of home. Alright, we got a couple more of these to go. Then we put the power cable in, and we are done. That's kind of crazy. Get a little bit more flux in there. Where did I put that? We'll just pre-flux these because I know I'm gonna need a lot when I get to this side. It's not something I can just prop it up with. Probably should have done that. Doesn't matter. I will try the guy's technique where he puts some solder on the cable and then just zoops it onto these. Ow, that is hot. Yeah, that is hot. Can confirm. Can confirm, warm to the touch. Guys, this is gonna blow your mind, but it turns out that metal conducts heat. This might come as a terrible shock to you. This might be earth-shattering news, but at least for me it is. Alright, nice. Alright. 99% of the way there, folks. Yeah, we went from, you know, 0 to hero, you know, like all those Disney movies. Okay. This here. Get my little last 8 pins. Throw this away. Orientation. The heckaroni. What's going on, Stinker? Hold. Hold, please. Ah, there's a rogue wire, of course. One of the shrapnel wires. It's pretty cringe, that. Alright. Okay. So I'm going to try this little trick again that the YouTube guy said, which is when you're mounting them like this, just like a perfect little thing of solder. So you put a little bit on there, push it in real good, and you just let it melt onto the component. Sort of worked. I'm on a 50-50 on that one. Yeah, that one's still kind of low, isn't it? It's good enough. Doesn't have to be good, guys, just has to be good enough. Like messed up the pin connector. Alright, I don't agree with this YouTube guy's advice. My opinion has changed. He was wrong, he's dumb, and he smells. Probably does, though. I have a sample size of streamers and YouTubes and their aroma. What I'm working with right now are looking pretty rough. Am I melting these LEDs? Okay, no, they're okay. I'm trying to be careful as I can not to melt those little stinkers, but they may just have a tough time. That's okay. Alright. Now for the power. I mean, does it plug in alright like this? Seems to. Alright, good enough. Plugs in-ish. Sort of plugs in. Trim all this stuff tomorrow. So that's the LED view there. Feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. Alright, now I gotta actually get the plug set up for this thing. Alright, red to plus. I think I can pull that off. We'll see. I'm going to do one thing, which is going to tin these little connectors real quick, just so that I got a lot of solder ready to go, and they will make a nice, happy connection here. Okay, then I put a little bit on this. Oh, I might have messed that up. Oh well. Stretch-a-roni here. So I might have messed up how I was going to plug in my positive one, so it's probably not great. Yes, I did. I sealed it shut because I'm dumb. It's one of the downsides of being dumb. Is you do dumb things. Normally it sounds like a blast. I know. Everyone's like, oh Jeff, I want to be dumb, but you know, I'll use some of my desoldering stuff. Get this out of there. Este way. On the last solder, on the final solder, that I, of course, messed up. But we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Okay. 90% of the way there. Was that the right side? I hope I did the right side. I did not put him in on the right side. God bless. Put him in on the wrong side. It doesn't matter, I don't think. But it'll actually look better this way. That's what I'm going to tell myself. Because it'll be a little more hidden. Alright, there's my positive. My negative one's all effed up too. Well, what do you know? What do you know? This might not be the last one here. I see some little bits of wire sticking out, but let's get. That is the 5 volt. That is the ground. They are both on there. Air quotes. Let me give them a little bit of spice on the other side here. Make sure that we're good. I mean, you know, seems good. I'm gonna call it. We done did it, folks. Let's look at our creation. Look at this. That's what we did in the last couple hours. And you can too. You know, this is the glamour shots right here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sparkle fingers. Let's clean this off. Alright. Nice and clean. That's off. This lead stuff I can put away and so I don't get lead poisoning. Yes, that'd be good. Soldering wick in here. We done did it, folks. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. Alright, well, I'm also very tired, so it is going to be time to go to bed. I'll let you still glory at this creation while I put some things away. But, you know, you can do this. It's possible. It's possible. It's, you know, if I can do it, you can do it. Trust me on that. Because my brain is made of marshmallows and sadness for the most part. For the most part. Alright. I'm excited. We done did it. Well, have a wonderful evening, everybody. Thanks for hanging out and laughing along with my dumb jokes. And I hope this was an interesting project for you all. It was a interesting one for me. Take care, everybody. Have a good night. Bye-bye.